You remember the lyrics this time?
Maybe.
All right, let's try it.
Okay.
Y'all know what time it is. 1, 2, 3, go. We are Greg and Mike, and this is our theme song. We are Greg and Mike, and this is our theme song. We are Greg and Mike, and this is our theme song. We are Greg and Mike, and welcome to our show.
All right.
Sustain the note there for a little bit.
I practiced.
Nice.
I legit had to practice that on the way over.
And I wanted to make sure.
I was afraid I was going to screw it up again.
And like that's why I haven't even sent you the Florida Man lyrics.
Oh.
Because even though it's Florida Man, doing everything that a Florida man can. Florida Man, a little bit of proof America's a little fucked up. I just figured that's way too much a cadence change
so
for you to get
complicated.
down. Yeah.
There's no way.
But again, you guys are welcome because I know not everybody can appreciate the dynamic nuances of our extremely complex, angelic singing voices.
That's right.
But your ears will acclimate.
Yes.
But until they do, welcome. This is the IRL podcast with that guy named Mike. And to my right-hand man, the silent Bob to my J, the Robin to my Batman. And I'm pointing at the graphics there because I'm going to use them every time.
Every time.
It is that other guy named?
It's Greg.
And this show is not brought to you by
going old school.
Arizona Diet Green Tea.
Diet Green
because
Tea.
That regular green tea.
No.
It's just fucking packed full of fat.
So calories a calorie.
Yeah. I know that when young Juan went down to the green tea fucking farm, he's like, oh, I very much lot green tea. Look very much good. Little too fat though. Must get light green tea.
How do they make it diet?
I don't know. But I can get away with using that voice and it's not racist because he's my Asian friend.
That's right. That's right.
So, and like always with the IRL podcast, this is in real life. We are not NPCs. And the one thing I know for sure we don't fucking do is we sure as fucking don't glitch
at all.
Ever.
No.
I don't even know why.
No.
That is a fucking thing. Ethan's just like, my dad's a dork. But anyway, beside the glitching, this is a safe haven for, and we are advocates of
the differently abled.
Because we are?
We are differently abled.
And if you guys don't believe us,
just look at us. I mean, really.
3, 2, 1, there's the foot. And that's all we needed. Just the foot for just 2 seconds.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, for those of you who have never seen the foot before, if you need therapy, Greg knows a good guy.
I literally have 4.5 toes.
4.5 toes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So for the show, we had a misunderstanding. I thought Greg had all sorts of Australia shit that he was going to talk about, but apparently he only had like one poop story.
Okay.
To share.
Let me.
Which is cool because we have not done an throwback tiny stories of yesteryear,
old time story hour
with old Uncle Gregor.
Right.
We're gonna fuck that title up every time.
Well, let me clarify something you said.
Yeah.
You said there was a miscommunication. Actually, I said let's do a show all about Australia, and then I showed up with nothing.
Oh, and I was like, okay, so I went and got Australia shit.
Yeah, 100% on me, all the way. So if and when this show lets you down, you can look this way for once. So,
but he didn't come completely really empty because he has an old-timey story.
No, I do have a couple of good Australia stories.
So unfortunately, this doesn't have anything to do with us eating hot wings. And can you check the nuggets in the oven? You turned it up.
I turned the heat.
Are they frozen?
No, but they were. It's going to still take a little bit longer.
Okay,
so
whatever. So we don't have anything to burn our mouths with yet, but we're working on it because we're super prepared.
Yeah, it all started with how prepared I showed up.
Yeah,
actually.
And honestly, me and Ethan had a very eventful week a couple of days ago. Our truck got stolen out of our driveway, which is part of the reason why I wasn't prepared today because I'm trying to like mount outside cameras and shit because we're like the only fucking house in America that does not have fucking 5 cameras watching everybody go into their driveway now. In addition to going into town and replacing, he lost his debit card because his wallet got stolen, and I lost my credit card. So
debit card,
I mean, everything. License. Yeah. So we've had one of those kind of weeks where it's like, hey, anything and everything that's important in your life is gone. And then now you got to like replace it with other shit and then get on the internet and have all your auto bill pay stuff redone to the new cards. And
God, what a nightmare.
Love it. And that's why my lawn isn't mowed.
Okay.
Because that's what I was going to do today, and it got replaced with lots of other adulting.
I didn't even notice because I was busy getting attacked by the world's most worthless guard dog. Yep. And then also you have the dog ball tree. So
here's Maya when my neighbors slam their doors of their cars too loudly. Here's Maya when the mailman drops off the mail. Here's Maya when someone steals our truck in the middle of the night.
It's funny because it's true.
Thank you. Harry pretending to be Maya.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
in the flavor of the energy we've already got going on, we decided to come up with a new segment called, and I had to write it down because I knew I'd forget, the 2-minute moment of madness, where I put a timer on Mike and he gets to go crazy for 2 minutes on all the social media stuff that I have no idea what's going on at all. So are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Are you marked? Get set, go.
All right. So Craig showed up today and we're talking about the production of the show and the stories that we got. And he goes, I swear to God. So I don't know what's going up with all this P. Diddy stuff. What's going on with all this P. Diddy? And I'm like, how do you not fucking know what's going on with P. Diddy stuff?
I pinky promise on the soul of my dead mother, that is the truth. I had no idea what's going on with Diddy.
So my head almost exploded. And I was like, okay, so we're like literally months behind in all this shit. So I got to like go through the synopsis to be like, okay, so he had this girlfriend who he was raping and doing all this other. We can't say rape on fucking YouTube now that I've said it twice. We gotta say graped aggressively. And you can't say Warcraft. You can't say sexual assault. You gotta say SA, because apparently YouTube is a bunch of fucking snowflakes now. You can't say real words because they might hurt someone's feelings. But anyway, still part of my rant. But anyway, so I gotta tell him. So basically, long story short, Diddy is like the black fucking Jeffrey Epstein. He's been raping all these fucking people. He's been graping all these people in a sexual way or whatever you want to call it. He's been sodomizing them. I just won't even use fake words anymore. He raped them. So long story short is apparently Diddy and Jay-Z and Beyonce are like the ultimate fucking gatekeepers in the fucking hip hop industry. And it's all about Diddy like raping these people and basically having these giant Diddy parties where it may or may not have been on video that Justin Bieber might be going, and somebody at a party that we may or may not have posted a video of on our fucking video channel here. It's one of the shorts. Go check it out. So when Greg's like, what's going on with Diddy? I was like, what, dude? That's like being like, that fucking dude, this guy went on like the Bill Burr it was the Conan O'Brien podcast. Okay? And the guy goes, so what's up with the Jeff Epstein thing? That's literally what you did to me today. So Conan O'Brien is...
Time!
I'm going to keep going. So Conan O'Brien has this dude who grew up with Jeffrey Epstein, went to college with the guy. They're buddies, right? Okay. And Conan O'Brien's like, so you haven't heard what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein? He goes, no, what's going on with my buddy Jeff? What's going on with him? And he goes, you haven't heard, man? Like, his island and all the sexual assault stuff. He's like, my buddy Jeff Epstein? No. And he goes, you do realize he died in prison. What? My buddy Jeff is dead? And Conan O'Brien is like, dude, how do you not know this? You live in New York City. How do you lock yourself in your closet? Like, that's literally what you did to me with the P. Diddy stuff. So long story short, Cat Williams and 50 Cent have been going off for like a year on podcasts and social media being like, yeah, they're the gatekeepers. Like, P. Diddy's a fucking sexual predator. Blah, 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 blah. And, like, there's all this weird fucking culty fucking shit going on. Which, if you think about it, all the fucking hip-hop music, now there's all these podcasters coming out with, like, they're playing lyrics of all these people's songs.
Oh, no.
And it's like, dude, will they forgive me for what I did with Diddy? Like, okay, so when the song was a #1 song on the radio, and you were mouthing the lyrics to that song, it didn't fucking hit you until now. Like the Belle Biv DeVoe song on like, what was it, episode 2 or 3 we did?
Yeah.
When they're talking about backstage, underage, adolescent, baby wanna do me. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I remember that, yeah.
How, as a 14-year-old boy, did I sing along with that at the fucking
Yeah.
high school or middle school dances. How are the fucking teachers at the dances being like, well, are you listening to the lyrics? That doesn't sound right. How come nobody caught on to that shit
Wow.
until somebody else has been like, hey, that's a little weird. And now everybody's tripping out, right? So the fucking crazy culty shit with all of that is that this is how Americans are now. We find something that we really like and we put all of our fucking selves into it until that defines who we are. And we almost become a cult of that thing.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we're almost like that with sports, really.
Yeah.
Kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We probably know more about some baseball players than fucking we should know about other men that we're not related to.
We probably know more about baseball players than like people in our own family.
Legit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the fervorous way that we worship our baseball teams and our football teams and all that shit, right? It gets into cradle to grave marketing with fucking products. Dude, you got people like my dad. That motherfucker will not drink anything but Lipton tea. Cradle to grave marketing, dude. That's what I like. That's what I'm familiar with. The familiarity will carry me for the rest of my fucking life. I will be a fucking Lipton guy till the day I fucking die, even though there's 18 other brands out there that are probably way better, but this is what gives me comfort, right? Very kind of culty mentality. It's getting into everything we do.
Well, to tie in like the sports thing too,
Yeah.
is I'll only use Tide as a laundry detergent because of Ricky Rudd and NASCAR from like 1985.
Wow. And that's, I mean, like you said,
Yeah, no other reason.
you actually tried Washington's shittiest beer because Longmire
Yes,
drank that shit.
Wow, that's right. Yeah. I tried.
Proof right there, man.
Most people drink Rainier because they hate themselves. But I tried it. It gets so bad. But I tried it because Longmire drank it, and I wanted to be like that dude.
Or
That's
you grew
right.
up in the Northwest, and it was the cheapest beer you could get, so it just became an iconic part of your childhood.
I bought Brown Derby beer, $3 a 12-pack in college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, my dad
And I got screwed.
Olies. They're like little Olympias, little mini cans.
Yeah, I remember
a
those.
6-pack of that for like $2.
Yeah, I remember
If you
those.
slammed them fast enough, you almost might get a buzz because it was like 2.3%
It's
or
like
something back in the day.
and it was like Andre the Giant, like drinking a beer.
Yeah,
Like
you're like
this
little
giant-
Olies. Little Olies, I think is what they call them.
Yeah.
So with the cold shit, I mean, dude, obviously it's been in our politics. We don't want to go there too bad, but and all this shit.
Go ahead. Your 2-minute rant turned into today's episode. So go for it. If you want.
The problem with all of this shit is that once you're fucking like that far, there's no coming back.
There's no turning back.
There's no turning back, man. And what's even worse is the people that are in it that know it's a cult that want out, they're almost afraid to get out because once they do, now they have to face all the people that were like, I told you it was a cult.
Yeah.
And then forever they're going to be fucking passively, aggressively shamed for not listening to their friends and family when all they want to do is just fix it and get over with it. But now it will fucking literally haunt them the rest of their fucking lives.
And then
Psychology.
And then like you've got the people that say, who's the guy that goes, the guy that interviews Trumpers? He's got the hair. He's on like the Daily Show.
Oh, Jordan Klepper
From
from the Daily Show.
I love that guy because he gets people to agree with him, like which is totally against like what they believe in. And he actually got someone to say, if Trump shot somebody in the middle of the intersection, I would still vote for him.
Oh yeah. The one guy goes, he could kill somebody on the front steps of the White House and I'd still be with him. Yeah, because that guy definitely does not live in a fucking super, super rural part of America where he only knows 5 dudes and those are the same dudes that go to the same fucking barber shop every Sunday.
Right.
Because it's the only fucking place in town that's open. Because, the board says you need to shut everything down except for the barber.
And they got both kinds of music. They got country and Western.
Yeah, they're just super diverse. So, again, I like when he points out the fact that, I don't even know what that is. Everybody in the show's going to be like, what are they laughing at? I'll have to try to take a picture of that
everything we
picture.
talk about is an inside joke anyway, pretty much. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that came from.
Make it stop.
So
I can't stop looking at it now.
I guess what kind of where I'm going with it? That is the longest that fucking picture has ever been up, dude. You should take a picture of that and send it to me just so I can share
You
it.
know, as soon as I get ready to take a picture, it's going to go.
Oh, yep, there it is. It's gone forever now. No, it's just my old Peninsula carpet cleaning advertisements.
Who's not a sponsor?
Right. Peninsula carpet cleaning.
Oh, God, I'm dizzy.
So, getting back to the culty part
Culty
of all this fucking
Yeah.
nonsense is sometimes culturally, because people, they just want to belong, right?
Well,
You
there's
think about,
yeah, no, there is a herd mentality.
yeah, people want to
Yeah.
be accepted by the herd that
Right.
they prefer to be in. You know what I mean?
That's why we all wear jerseys to the games we go to, because we all want to feel connected to as many people as possible sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, just like other normal things, when you go to appreciate somebody that's really good at their job, you want to wear their uniform
Yes.
while you're there.
Right.
Because that happens when I go to the grocery store. I dress up like the grocery clerk and I'm like, you fucking stock those shelves, buddy. Look at Ray stocking the shelves with this fucking badass apron. Can you sign my apron, Ray? That happens every day in everyday life.
Sure.
So, but there's nothing weird and culty about that.
Well, how many people have come out to meet us wearing their own Amazon uniform?
Never.
Right.
Yeah, because nobody cares. We don't get paid millions of dollars, and
No, that's true.
we don't do commercials for United Way where we pretend to care about kids and shit just for the fucking PR.
You do the commercials because it's in your contract because you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I thought he was going to do stories about Australia, I started looking up Australian stories.
Okay.
And I might as well just say it. I was actually looking for like poop stories because I know Greg loves poop stories, and I wanted to do a cult about poop because a couple of years ago when we were doing our Spotify podcast, we did a story about, I think it was Vietnam, either Vietnam or China, one of those countries.
Well, you Western people worry about your borders.
Yeah. And the government had gone in and arrested this guy because he had a giant cult following. And the reason it was bad was because the cult following was basically eating poop. So he had convinced like 100 people to live inside this gated community and just eat his poo.
Yeah.
And then when authorities were like, man, it smells really bad in there. It smells like death and poop. So when they went in there to inspect, they're like, that person's dead. They just noticed dead people laying around. They're like, how did they die? I don't know. They got sick after eating my poop and then they died. We can't figure it out. So I was hoping to find one of those stories. But instead, what I found was one of the greatest fucking stories I didn't realize I was ever going to find. And basically, I don't need the piece of paper. It's Australia's version of Village of the Damned. So, this is fucking nuts. And I'm going to show the pictures too, because this shit, you can't even make this shit up. So,
well, can I tell you how much I love those three words that are together? LSD, yoga, and UFOs. How can you go wrong?
So this is a Guardian article, and this article is more than 7 years old. Well, I would hope so. So in Australia in the 60s, this young, charismatic woman, God, where is it right here? Anne Hamilton Byrne. So she basically started out being like a yoga instructor. Manny Pandas, don't get any fucking ideas. You're going to start a cult. But she basically started out as a yoga instructor to like these like affluent fucking Australian women, right?
Okay.
And then somehow charismatically started convincing them that she was the female reincarnated version of Jesus. Don't ask me how she convinced these people of this.
Some people just want to believe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they'll believe anything.
So it says, a new book and film reveals secrets of the mysterious cult once known as the Great White Brotherhood. So the Great White Brotherhood, I don't know if this is the same as the Michael Dorial thing. Have you ever heard of this?
I'm having problems with like hearing about P. Diddy.
So Michael Dorial was like a science. He was like a psychologist or sociologist, something like that, way back in the day, right? Or that's what he claimed to be.
Sure.
So
right
now, remember, this is during the time of who was the dude, the psychic guy that claimed he found fucking Atlantis and the Bimini Road, real famous psychic guy. Fucking really old, been around for a long time.
I got nothing.
Oh my god, dude, you watch fucking sci-fi anything? Edgar Casey. Fucking
Sure.
Edgar fucking Casey.
Sure.
You don't know who that is.
No.
Gee, you don't know who the fuck Edgar Casey is?
No.
God, you're a baseball nerd from hell.
I know
Okay.
Sean Casey was
Whatever.
Was the first baseman for the Reds.
Of fucking course.
His nickname was the Mayor.
No one cares at this point. Nothing to do with our story.
Okay,
All right,
that's-
moving forward.
I'm just telling you what I
This
learned.
is why I come up with these stories, and he's like, I got lists of fucking laws in Washington, because he doesn't look anything up that's funny
We're
or
yin and-
weird.
We're yin and yang.
Okay, so Michael Doriel is a guy who claimed that he was kind of like the reincarnated version of Thoth the Atlantean priest king that wrote the Emerald Tablets.
Okay.
And that, man, you have no idea what the fuck. Oh, Anunnaki, remember that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so Thoth,
Ding, ding, ding.
Thoth, the Atlantean priest king, is the son of one of the gods of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
So he wrote down all the wisdom of the gods in a thing called the Emerald Tablets.
Okay.
So he created this, what's called this like Brotherhood of the White, where they basically like dedicate their lives to protecting the secrets of all this ancient shit.
Okay.
Remember the Indiana Jones, the movie, The Last Crusade?
Yes.
You know, the brothers who like protect the secrets of the Grail.
Okay.
That's kind of like what these guys were
Oh.
trying to be.
Okay.
Like
okay.
a secret society within
Sure.
a secret society that's just there to protect the secrets.
Gotcha.
Right. So this is all around the same time. Okay. So with that being said, dude, I got to show these pictures. So this picture up here.
That's a super disturbing picture, by the way.
Yeah. And there's more. So apparently this fucking lady convinced these people that through the use of LSD, yoga, so yoga actually is connected with all sorts of these different ancient forms of different martial arts that have a lot more to do with mind, body, spirit being in
sure.
harmony
Yeah.
other than just
Yeah.
stretching,
Right.
right? So, and the LSD and new agey UFO fucking religion shit that was popping up all over in the 60s and 70s. So, so fucking crazy. This really, really looks like one of these kind of like will it into existence, like futuristic
Yeah.
fucking like,
Yeah.
we're going to create the perfect family unit
That's
for
right.
the future.
That's right.
And all the kids look like little clones of each other. You notice all the little boys have the really weird, oh God, I don't know, fucking like 1960s Jimmy DeVille fucking haircuts.
Yeah, I was
shit.
waiting for you to say
Does it say like
haircuts.
Jimmy DeVille or something?
This
From-
this one killed animals.
yeah,
That's
that that kid's
God.
like, you're the Dark Lord, so we're gonna put glasses and a dark wig on you. Everybody else blonde. I mean, dude, I don't know. There's just so much creepy shit about this. And then we're gonna scroll down. I mean, oh yeah, look at a glamorous purveyor of yoga to the bored, wealthy suburban moms. I mean,
Moms.
dude, so
Wow.
fucking culty, dude. And of course, wow, who does this fucking sound like, dude? She basically took like 10% of the income of every fucking single person that joined her cult.
So the tithing.
Literally,
much, yeah.
which is exactly why Scientology is fucking super mega wealthy. And it's why the Catholic Church, super mega wealthy. Just give us your money, cult members.
Well, the LDS is tithing too.
And, you know, they're supposed to be using this money to help people and help causes around the world, not, you know, make their pastors like, you know, I don't know, Joel Holstein, the fucking douchebag,
Yeah.
Kenneth Copeland, the fucking evil pricks. They're not grifters or charlatans at
No,
all.
not at all.
No, they fly in multi-million-dollar jumbo jets. You know why? That's the only way that they know how to spread the word of God. You
That's
can't
right.
do it over the internet.
Well, God wanted them to have those.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why he made Tyler Perry sell
And it's all,
at a great price.
and the theme song to that whole rant is "Send Me Your Money" by the Suicidal Tendencies.
Yes. So I mean, dude, look at this picture. This is right out of like a 60s fucking
Dude, that looks like
scary
a
movie, dude.
really, really bad slasher movie.
like B-budget shit.
Oh, that's
I'm
God,
definitely
it's
showing
creepy
that
as hell.
picture, dude. So this is what's crazy. All right. So I think LSD helped, right?
Sure.
Says the book's author and documentarian Rosie Jones. That was a really big part of the cult. One of Hamilton Burns' important early accolades was psychiatrist Howard Whitaker, a researcher in the use of psychedelics to treat mental illness, who helped funnel drugs to the group. The family eventually staged a silent takeover of a private hospital in fucking Kew where Whitaker worked. Hamilton Byrne herself supposedly kept a jar full of LSD blotters at her home in the hills and would personally guide her followers through their trips, thereby ensuring their acceptance of her divinity.
See, that's what
this
she
is
did.
Literally brainwashing
Yes,
shit.
that's what
you're
she did.
doing what the government does
She
to
got
fucking
them-
MK Ultra people.
She got them high as hell, and then while she's like spinning in a
I
kaleidoscope,
am God.
yeah, it's like Zoolander,
Literally, but much less funny.
right?
Well, I mean, the fashion is as funny. I mean, that just looks like even Andy Warhol was like, whoa, that's a little over the top. Whoa.
Andy Warhol's like, well, dial it down.
Yeah, like what's up with the turtleneck sweaters
Yeah.
and the fucking salt and pepper plaid pants?
Oh,
Like most Catholic kids would have fucking nightmares about those pants. They went to parochial school. But literally, and here's the thing, dude. There she is in the 70s, or that's her in 1993. This is what's fucked up, dude. That cult is still going on today.
no.
Yes, even though she's out of it, she's like the martyr now. Now there's other people, just like with Scientology, dude. There's other people that are so invested in it, they have to keep it going. Like they're the next prophet.
So
for
there's
the
still-
next eight. Yep.
Like with the LSD, like the
Yeah.
whole.
And here's the other part, dude.
Wow.
So there's a part of the story. Yeah, it's up to 30 to 40 people still in the hills and shit, dude. It's fucking nuts. So this is what's nuts, okay? So some of these people, they were like, hey man, there's a lot more kids here than adults. Like, where did a lot of these kids come from?
Yes.
You know what they were doing? They were fucking buying these children from adoption agencies just to brainwash them in their cult so they'll be the leaders of the cult going forward.
Wow.
And none of this shit is illegal. None of this shit's illegal, man. Like, I don't even fucking get it. Now the whole UFO fucking thing, I mean, it's just, anyway, if you guys want to know more, go to The Guardian, read the fucking shit. You literally can't, I mean, dude, these poor fucking kids. Can you imagine? You're in a fucking Australian orphanage one day. You're like 9. And then the next thing you know, hi, these nice people come and see you. Next thing you know, they're like, we're going to cut your hair and dye it blonde and put on this little outfit that looks just like Billy.
And
Slash
put this
dog.
and put this little tab on your tongue.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's one of the things they can't prove, that like people tried to get them for child abuse, but you couldn't prove that they were drugging the kids. You couldn't prove it because you can't you can't piss test for LSD. You have to do a spinal tap. They could have been feeding these kids as much fucking psychedelics as they wanted, and there was no way to test for it.
Wow.
So anyway, that was Mike's 2-minute moment of madness that turned into 20 minutes or whatever.
Probably longer than that, but that's okay.
So, but yeah, cults. And you know what? I was like, wow, that's crazy. So then I looked it up and I'm like, hey, who has the most cults in the world?
Probably United States.
Yeah, it's over 10,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
really?
over 10,000. Yeah, I was like, wow. Well, America, we are definitely the best at something still.
Number one.
Having the most amount of fucking nutbaggy people that believe in fucking crazy shit.
Yeah,
we're at the top.
I wonder how many of those cults are in like northern Michigan. That's got to be like 600 right there.
Oh, fuck.
God.
All right, so to wrap up the show, we have one of our throwback stories of the old days, of tiny days of way back.
Old-timey story time, yesteryear, Grunkle Greg.
What's the time say?
28 minutes.
Oh, sweet. We got just enough time for your story.
Cool. So I tried living in Australia.
So this is the days of way back stories, times of the old timies of yesteryear. I don't know. We fucking fuck it up every time.
Old timey story hour with Uncle Greg or something like that.
Of the days of yesteryear, of way back.
Of the days of yesteryear, way back.
Something.
Yeah.
You know what? We're never going to do a graphic for it. We'll just fuck up the title every time. Everybody be like, yeah, it's one of those story time with Greg that they can't get the name for.
Well, it's charming.
It is
what it is.
That's why they're all clicking on something else now.
Right. So
without any further ado.
So anyway, so when I moved down there, I was living in Holland, so we flew from Holland to Australia via Great Britain, via London and Singapore. Took 25 hours.
God.
Yeah. and we had saw 5 movies and had 5 meals. But anyway, the story I'm going to tell you about is how I shit myself in downtown Sydney. So we land, we get all squared away and everything, and so we were being tourists for a while, and we went to a place called Darling Harbor, and we had no money. We had we lived off of like cheese sandwiches and peanuts. Like we had no money at all. And so we wanted to splurge and we bought burritos, and my beef burrito smelled like fish. Like it was that rancid.
Oh,
right. But I paid
I'm hungry.
But I paid $3.27 for this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking eat it. Right. So I knew eating it that it was a really, really bad idea. I was probably 23, I guess, at the time, which is, no reason why.
Are you still playing baseball this time?
Well, I actually went down there to try to play pro baseball.
That's why you were there?
Yeah. That's
Is this
one
the
of the
same
reasons why
trip where you spent fucking like a million years on a bus and had to listen to fucking cricket on the radio?
I listened to Tournament World Cricket. It was a bus ride.
Crocky, wicked googly, mate.
It was a bus ride from Alice Springs to Townsville through Mount Isa, and it took 32 hours. Yeah. And that's when I had 2 tapes to listen to. I had Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Peppers.
Give it away now.
Yeah, and I had the Black Album by Metallica, and that was it. Those were the only 2 I had for 6,000 miles.
That is the weirdest 2 albums, too, because literally everybody that loved the Metallica album was like, you like Red Hot Chili Peppers? F-A-G.
Right, and then the other way around, too.
Yeah, so you like guys that dance around in the desert and speedos?
Sell out, yeah.
I could see his balls. Like, why are you looking at his balls?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it every time a homophobic dude has to talk about something, he's like, you could see his balls? Like, well, okay, well, you know what the first thing you looked at was.
Well, and then people that aren't homophobic say,
what's that old saying?
You can see his balls.
Yeah. What's that old saying about people that always fucking say shit like that? It's like every confession is an admission. You never heard that?
No.
The people that talk.
Just talk of something else that I've never heard about.
Okay,
Thanks.
so this is basically in the political spectrum, right?
Okay.
So when you got a MAGA who's fucking obsessed with gay people, they're secretly gay.
Okay, yeah.
So when you're a Republican politician, you're like, gay people shouldn't have any rights. Gay people are a scourge of the earth. My religion tells me gay people. No, blah, 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 blah. And then like 6 months later, it's found out, yeah, he's been having a secret gay affair with his.
I was just going to say, I've heard that story like multiple times.
That's why it's a trope. It's not a trope because it's only happened once.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyway, I eat this fishy smelling beef burrito, and I know there's going to be a problem. So we're like down by like the Opera House, which is not that great. It's not that big of a deal actually. And we were like 7. We had to go like 7 blocks back to our hotel, the CB hotel, which was $20 a night, and it was not. It wasn't even fucking worth that much. Let me tell you, it was like nothing but rats and hookers in the lobby. Anyway, so I'm like, we don't have any money. We have no money for a bus, right? So I've got to walk 7, and so now my stomach is doing this thing, right? Because it's like 3 hours later. So I know that I'm going to shit myself. And can I make it back to, because there's no like public bathrooms, because like that area is like so downtrodden and everything. Like there's no like restaurants you can go into or anything like that. So I've got to walk 7 blocks without shitting myself. And I would have had an easier time running 2 marathons like than walking those 7 blocks. So we come to a parking structure that says public restrooms. And so I almost made it.
I love how every story is like almost made it.
I almost made it. But I tell you what, the grossness factor of this public restroom in downtown Sydney, Australia is worse than any outhouse I have ever been to before or since. It was so fucking disgusting. I can't even tell you. But I didn't make it. So I still had to walk home with bad socks.
Oh my God. No, this has happened to a driver at work. So I was telling everybody about your story.
Of course you were.
And this guy goes, no, that happened to me the other day.
Which one? Because it's happened to me so many times.
The only one I remember.
Okay.
But this is a younger guy. He's younger. He's in his 20s, and he was in the military. And he was telling me, he's like, dude, it was so bad. Like, it was in the seat. Like, so when Rob, one of their dispatch guys, had to go pick him up in one of the other vans, like, he literally put on, like, a garbage bag as, like, a poncho for down here to keep everything in.
Wow.
Because he's like, oh, I had to take my socks and shoes off, put those in a garbage bag. And then, like, as he's telling me the story, I'm like, did you finish your route? No, of course not, dude. Like, it's like that poor. So the only reason I know this is because when we were talking about it, he had bottles of cleaner and shit. Because we were like, where are you going? He's like, what happened to me, man? I got to go clean up. They said it still smelled. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
So he's in there spraying off the floor around the fucking front driver's seat. And I'm like, it got on the floor. And he's like, dude, I had to take my socks and shoes off.
Oh, God.
Got into his shoes and socks and shit. I'm like, oh, my God, dude. Wow. That is my worst nightmare, man. Now, I've done a little bit in my underwear, just a little bit. I'm like, oh, God, no, I got to go to the store. And I'm like, thank God, it's just this, you know what I mean? But like, your guys' stories, I'm like, listen, I could not imagine it running down the back of my legs.
Let me tell you something. That. When you shit yourself in that situation, you know how alone you are in the universe. Right. And there's people listening right now that know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I should bring back on a different episode is my story about when I was an Uber driver and the Russian pirate shit himself in my car.
In his pantaloons?
In his pantaloons.
We just told half the story right there.
Yeah.
So,
well,
all right.
Tell it though. Anyway.
Well, that's going to have to wrap it up for this week.
Yeah.
Shorter episode.
Okay.
We'll be a lot better prepared next week.
Yeah. And that's on me. And that's totally on me. I'll take that one.
I'm going to come up with some more crazy shit because we're going to bring the Wheel of Pain back next week. And the Wheel of Pain is going to be, what would Dolan do?
Oh my God.
So be prepared. What would Dolan do?
Wow.
We're going to have the song. We're going to have his fucking head dancing around. I'm Dolan. It's going to be awesome.
Oh my God. I can't wait.
Yes. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up for this one.
All right.
And until next time, keep it strange, y'all.
Inappropriate and weird.
And until next time, your awkward TikTok of the day.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Much has been said. Much has been said about Jeffrey Epstein. Terrible things.
No, Jeff. I'm talking about Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Yes, we're talking about the same Jeff Epstein.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I never heard.
Oh, it was a big story in the news. Huge.
No.
Yes, for you to say no one ever
Jeff
said...
Epstein.
Yes.
Jeff Epstein.
Yes, the financier.
With the island.
Yes, he had an island that I've never been to. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, with respect, if there was some news about Jeff Epstein, I would have heard.
No, I don't know what rock you've been under. It was a huge story, and Jeff Epstein I have to tell you, he's gone. He's dead.
What do you mean?
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Sorry, nice try. If Jeff Epstein were deceased, I'm pretty sure I would know about it. Now, I admit I've not. Probably since the pandemic, I have not talked to him.
That would make sense. That would make sense. He's been dead for a number of years, Jim.
I'll tell you, there's one easy way. Let's call Ghislaine Maxwell.
No, we're not calling Ghislaine Maxwell.
Why not? Okay.
She's in prison. She's in prison for crimes she committed with Jeff Epstein.
Ghislaine's in prison.
Yes. Stop calling her Ghislaine. How do you know these people? Jim.
Conan.
Jim.
All right.